is going to premiere May 13th, 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. The film is going to be made available on ESPN Plus immediately after its premiere. And guess who is the executive producer on this film? Shanae Agumake. We are so excited to see this. What was it like putting this documentary together?
First of all, I want to thank you, Rachel, specifically because you always use your platform to tell the stories that need to be told. And just by promoting this, it means the world to me. I know 144, y'all. I am so excited. I am so blessed to shepherd this amazing story. I mean, this is the first ever ESPN film on the WNBA. My goodness. We were a fly on the wall in the most unprecedented season, a season that crowned a champion, but also a season that helped create real lasting change all the way up to our highest office in the land. So you'll see the strengths and also the vulnerabilities of the 144 behind the scenes of the stoppage of play. After Jacob Blake, we also had access to the players only meeting where they all came together to decide what to do and how to move forward. Players mic'd up in the playoffs. Honestly, this is the story of the amazing 144 women that have been doing the work both on and off the court. And you all get to see them like never before. It is so special. I am blessed to shepherd this story, and I can't wait for everyone to see it. May 13th, baby.
Woo, we're so excited about this film. So excited for you to add like yet another hyphenate to your 16 different other things that you can do. It is just incredible, Shanae. And I was really excited in that trailer to see a couple of the kids in there too, because the WNBA, and you are on the board of the Players Union, did such an incredible job of taking care of its players who are mothers. And it is such an important message for women all over this country. Your life doesn't stop when you have kids. You can be strong. You can win championships. And the fact that the WNBA had kids there with them and saw that multifaceted part of those women's lives while they were still fighting for justice, doing the right thing, you get to see it. And I just thought that was really, really special. So thank you for bringing that to our world. We can't wait.
No, thank you.
Let's get back to the business of the league a little bit here, because Kawhi Leonard set out last night with soreness in his left foot. He's going to be reevaluated next week. So, Shanae, we were just talking about James Harden and his injury. How concerning is this type of injury with Kawhi?
Look, I mean, I'm just going to be honest. The entire league, it really feels like is on load management because I've always said that this is 2 seasons wrapped into one with 71 days between NBA Finals and the start of this year. And multiple stars are missing games, and teams are being very conservative in how, they're trying to treat their star players. And so I'm not necessarily so worried for Kawhi Leonard in particular, because you don't want to play with feet, especially soreness that can lead to other things. And I know most athletes say that by the time you are in the playoffs, no one's at 100%, but really this season you can't play around with that. So I'm not worried because the conservative nature that teams are resting their players will hopefully help him get more time to be ready when it matters most. But of course, you just wonder, a lot of these teams are up against the clock, especially with the Clippers. I think they're like 8-1 in their last few games, or like 16 out of 21 a lot of their last few games. They want to maintain their spot in the standings.
You want to maintain your spot in the standings. I completely agree. Obviously, this isn't the same year that you're normally having with no fans. The travel's a little bit.
I want to get rid of the no fans in the playoffs. There are fans in more buildings than not right now.
Agreed, but in my opinion is this. In order for you to truly have an impact, the capacity has to be at like 75%, 80%. That's my opinion. If they have it at 20%, there is a great feeling there. You hear the MVP chants now. You hear like people starting to get back into it, but fans can have impact on games, but there has to be a lot of them. That's what we're excited to get back to that. But if you're the Clippers, it's about health. If I'm looking at the league, if we are the healthiest team, we have the best chance to win a championship more in this year than ever before because there's so many injuries. No disrespect to the Denver Nuggets, but Jamal Murray's injury could vault them out of a spot for winning a championship. If only 2 of the 3 superstars are able to play in Brooklyn, same thing. If LeBron James and AD aren't 100% healthy, same thing. So there's just so many of this going around. If they say a week, give him 2 weeks. Make sure he's 100% healthy, because this could be a golden opportunity.
Look, ever since I watched
the multiplier season.
That's a multiplier.
Ever since I watched Kawhi Leonard load manage within games in that Raptors run to the title, you could see within games where he was expending more effort in the fourth quarters because he was dealing with an injury. So that gave me a lot of faith in his ability to manage himself and his health throughout a playoff run. And Richard, just before Sinead goes, because she and I are Nerd Nation, we're going to hit you with a number here. There has, in fact, been an uptick in the home winning record of teams that have had fans in the building. So even though the arenas aren't full, it has mattered.
That is one.
Thank you. Sinead, thanks so much for joining us today. You're going to run to your radio show. That comes on right as soon as this show is over, so y'all can go find it on. New man, new team, same old Pat Bev. Big relatives, Nets, Pelicans, Jeff Green out in transition.
Oh!
Uncle Jeff can dunk still.
Oh!
Right?
He has been one of the biggest surprises in this league. Not because of like what he's doing, but just because of his contributions. He's been such a steady player for the Nets.
Yes, and age 34, still got them bunnies. I love it.
Yeah, Jeff Green's been putting people in baskets for years. Gosh, how many clips do we got?
You guys crossed on the same roster, right?
Yeah, we did. Right? Uncle Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You both played for everyone. So.
We both played everywhere. We were bound to cross
Can I call you Uncle Richard then?
No. That's his Instagram is Uncle Jeffy. That's his Instagram, so he gets a good call.
I know, but like same era.
No, well, yeah, everybody's got a grumpy uncle.
Make juvenile Clippers, Blazers, Norm Powell going baseline, leaves his feet, thinks about passing, and then lays it up.
Okay.
All right, so is he just seeing it in slow motion?
Well, let's see. Ooh. Let's see. Am I going to pass it? Nah.
Let me see this. Ooh.
Oh, the spin. The English kids, work on your English. And I'm not talking about your writing. Work on your English.
And that's how you do it under the rim with the English, with the sauce.
I never had that.
Most athletes tell kids, stay in school. Richard's like, stop school. Work on your basketball.
No, I said work on your English. Take it how you want.
Miss Arthritis, Kings, Wolves. Little dribble handoff, spin move.
Uh-oh.
Seriously, the music on Make Miss lately has been just top notch. That little two-handed flush from Anthony Edwards. In your physical prime, Richard, because God knows your mental prime, were you ever as athletic as Anthony Edwards?
Google's your friend. That's all I'm going to say.
He pleads the fifth.
Google is your friend.
You know what? I can answer this one. The answer is yes, people. This man was amazing.
Yes-ish.
Now, I wasn't as skilled as Chene. Now you ask me that question, the answer is no. You ask me anything about athleticism, there's only one person, that's probably Vince Carter.
I was going to say the guy you played with.
Yeah, Vince Carter. He's
there we
the greatest.
go.
Like, no, never.
Richard's had the best, worst luck ever. Make Rajon Rondo. Let's go back to the Pacific Northwest. Dennis Cantor has his back turned. Rondo drops the sweet dime into PG. Sinead, if you could play with Rajon Rondo for a day, how much fun do you think that would be?
In a heartbeat, because this man knows how to pass to post players. And I love this behind the back one. So yes, sign me up. Sign me up.
And look, everybody needs to understand, like, yes, physical ability, all of this stuff to know how to play basketball, but there are certain things that make players different. One of the things that makes Rondo different is he is one of the best passers to ever play the game. Like, that's just what the stats show. So, yeah, anybody should want to play with Rondo.
Yep.
And we've talked about it ad nauseum, but it bears repeating since we have so many eyeballs on how the Clippers are going to do in the playoffs, and we keep telling them that's the standard they're going to be held to. He makes playoff teams better. And, of course, we've put up the list with the numbers and how all of his stats elevate. But his biggest asset is just the way he can study film, know the opponent, and is able to lock in on whatever the other team's game plan is in a 7-game series. I'm telling you.
And he'll talk crazy to you, too. And I mean that in a respectful way. Like if Paul George or if Kawhi or if anybody isn't doing what they're supposed to, he'll hype you up. He'll talk to you. He'll be like, oh, no, that's not acceptable. I need more.
Scared straight.
But those are the players you want on your team.
Yeah. All right, I want to get over to the Nets. Injury woes continuing there. Steve Nash revealing yesterday James Harden has suffered a setback in his hamstring rehab. He will now be out indefinitely. Here's Nash on Harden yesterday in his media availability. Take a listen.
Back to square one. We'll rehabilitate him and get him back whenever we can. And who knows when that'll be, but we'll support James and we'll support our performance team in getting him back and in his best condition as possible. And hopefully that comes, sooner than later, but that there's no guarantee. he'll be back when he's back. That may not be to the playoffs. It might be sooner. I don't know. And we have no control over that other than working as hard as we can to support him and getting back to, full health and being able to play again. And, we're prepared for whatever that may be.
So, Richard, you call Nets games. How much of an issue do you think it will be for this team if they don't have Harden back until the playoffs, which Steve threw out there?
Look, I still stand by this. When you have whoever they play, they're most likely going to have two of the top three players. They possibly could have the top